Hello and welcome. I'm Janine Collins, and I serve as the Chief Community Innovation Officer with ed.Xtraordinary, an education startup powered by Teach for America, Las Vegas, to support future-ready learning now in our community. I'm here with my colleague and friend, Dr. Marcus Howard, our Chief Innovation Program Officer, to talk about our Pre Accelerator program, galaXy. Hey, Marcus.
Hey, how you doing, Janine? And I'm really excited to be here and talk to you all and give you some insight about the program.
Awesome. We also have with us two of our fellows from our first experience. Tiffany Stanford was formerly teaching at Marvin Sedway Middle School in Las Vegas and is the founder of You Teach, We Aid, bringing real-time help to teachers in classrooms. And Vedant Peris, the founder of Allo VR, that uses virtual reality to address social and emotional learning needs. He's a teacher at Mack Middle School in the Clark County School District. Hello, Tiffany. Hello, Vedant. How are you all?
I'm super grateful to be here.
Same. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's so great to see you both again. Marcus, let's get started with you. You founded ed.Xtraordinary, and your initial work was to lay the foundation for what this organization could become. One piece of research that you produced is the Drivers of Learning report. Can you tell us a little bit about this project and its outcomes?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we did before we did any work was we went out into the community and we started working with young people. So like middle schoolers, high schoolers, college students. And we started to really ask them, like, what do you all want the future of learning to look like and what should it look like? And in addition to that, we started to talk to other stakeholders, educational leaders, teachers, policymakers, and things like that. And we wanted to get a collection of thoughts and ideas and feelings about how the community felt around the future of learning for Las Vegas. And so once we did that, we came up with something called the 7 drivers of change. And so and we'll talk a little bit more about it as we talk about the fellowship, but as 7 drivers that we feel like is really going to help us reimagine education in Las Vegas. There was technology, design, health and wellness, people and culture, function in a community, and the environment. And those were pretty much the pillars in which we wanted to operate and innovate around in order to really drive future readiness in Las Vegas community.
I love it. And one of the things that I really, as an educator and parent, really connected with were also the enhancers. Could you just chat with us just a little bit about that component? Because I think them together really are so critical for what we see with what some of our fellows created.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, though there are drivers of change, there are also things that have to be in a educational learning environment for students to be successful. And what we call those enhancers of the learning environment. And so those enhancers are things such as love and care. Like every student talked about how they need love and care in a learning environment. They need access to support, whether it's mental or physical support. They need to feel empowered. So the learning environment has to be empowering. The learning environment also needs to give students a feeling and allow them to be open. So openness was really important to young people in order to achieve their maximum capabilities. And the last one is a bias towards action. So students want to be doing and not necessarily just learning. They want to be doing as well, taking what they learn and putting into action. So those were things, not necessarily the drivers of change in the ecosystem, but relatively the drivers of change for students in any learning environment, right? And so these are the enhancers in any learning environment that need to be present in order for students to learn.
I love it, and that resonates so much as a teacher, as a parent. So talk to us about galaXy, because galaXy is a place to see what those drivers and enhancers can actually look like tangibly. So talk to us about the galaXy experience.
So yeah, and Janine, thank you for giving us a push on that. So galaXy is one of our new programs where we are providing community members, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a student, whether it's a policymaker, we're giving them the opportunity to build something new, right? And so we're providing strategic support. We're giving money away. We're helping educate people with ideas on how to become entrepreneurs and how to launch their ideas. And so what it's called, it's a Pre Accelerator program called galaXy. And so what we believe is that these ideas are out of this world. Basically, we hope that these ideas are something that you've never seen before. These ideas are something that are going to take people, our young people, to the next level. And so you will see that with Vedant's ideas, and you'll see that uh, along during this presentation when we talk about Tiffany's idea with you teach, we aid. And so, and I hope I didn't mess it up. Tell me if I messed it up, Tiffany. You can interject, even though we're live. You can interject and you can tell me I messed up. But no, these are two ideas that really are very different from what we traditionally think about it as far as educational technology and things like that. And but two ideas that really uh, take into account the student experience and the future of learning. And so uh, they're going to be really two great examples of them being in our program. And so, and we want to continue this program so that we can empower other leaders in the community to do the same thing. And so I'm really excited to talk to Vedant and Tiffany about their ideas and for everybody to kind of hear about those.
I love it. Thanks, Marcus. And that's perfect because I'll pivot to Vedant and Tiffany and ask you to kind of help us. I'm going to start with just the basic question, like what drew you to this Pre Accelerator program? And yeah, let's just start there. Tiffany, what drew you to apply when you saw the opportunity?
So I was in a very unique spot. I needed my tech to get built out. I was looking, and a friend reached out like, "Hey, here's an opportunity for you to have your potentially have your app for You Teach We Aid built out." And I think what really sealed it for me was when I saw the 7 pillars that Marcus spoke about. And I was like, yeah, I think You Teach We Aid falls in line with maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of these, maybe more than that, different pillars, and especially health and wellness. And I just felt like You Teach We Aid is taking a very unique approach in how we are increasing student outcomes. And that's by directly helping out the teachers, which is different. So yeah, that was the reason why I ended up signing up for it or attempting to apply for the opportunity.
No, it's great. I'm glad that you saw the idea that you had that you were working on in the drivers and that there was relationship there, which drew you to it. Vedant, what about you? What drew you to the opportunity?
Yes. So with me, I don't have a business degree or much background with formal education in regards to starting a venture. And my venture, it began just with me trying to support my students. And so I was looking for an organization or some sort of cohort with more actionable steps for me to progress. And I was also looking for developmental funding as well. So that attracted me as well. And then so I found the Pre Accelerator, and I found that it could meet me at the level I was at, but still challenge me as well to grow. And yeah, it was super exciting. I applied.
That's great. And so for our viewers who might not be as familiar with the terms pre-accelerator, accelerator, when you're in an ed tech space or in a tech space and you're developing a new venture, an idea, an accelerator is a larger program after you've kind of have a proof of concept and you've done some, you're kind of past the incubation stage with your concept. You're getting investment and tools to scale your idea. The Pre Accelerator, which is where galaXy sits, is really to help incubate your idea. And so it sounds like both you and Tiffany and Vedant, both of you had some ideas and were at different stages of making them tangible. And so this really helped you move it along. Could you talk to us a little bit about like what support, like what did it look like? So okay, you're in a Pre-Accelerator, like what is this? What did that actually consist of? Were you all talking one-on-one? Did you have some sort of like group learning experiences? Like what was like the cadence of the experience? Tiffany, you want to jump in?
It was a little bit of both. So we started out doing some community conversations based around our different ideas and just learning different stages, I want to say, in the process of developing an idea, a tech idea. And then we kind of branched out into to do more one-on-one work because we were all at different places on our journey. So we've received support in that way. So a little bit of both. Community, then one-on-one, some one-on-one time, individualized support.
What was it like were there ever moments where you were like, I don't know how this is going to work or if this is going to move ahead? I mean, I know like so much when you're in an innovation space or starting something new, there's often, we like to talk about ambiguity and there's confusion. Like, it's a lot when you're making something from nothing. Like, what was that like when you encountered that kind of those moments, and like, how did this process like support you through that?
I think for me, when I joined the accelerator, it helped me kind of just do a entire paradigm shift, right? So just to realize the whole tech part of it, my mind wasn't quite there. I had did a little some interviews with some tech developers, and I don't before tech can be intimidating. So I think once I did join, I had to really just kind of, it made me kind of go into that space. And then to even realize you teach, we aid on a different level and understand what it really looks like from a tech perspective. Being a service that has an app, and then just kind of understanding how far that could go and the people it can reach, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. That's a lot from mindset shifts and paradigm shifts to understanding like tangibly how your product and service can go together. I feel like that's a lot in a short period of time. Vedant, what might you have to share around just the kind of support and what that experience was like for you as a fellow? And you did this all during it was pandemic teaching too. So what was it like? And talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So what was really cool was having fellow cohort members that are facing some of the same challenges, some of the same self-doubts, and reaching successes as well, and having them to relate to dialogue with, and just to listen to each other and encourage each other. And so I felt really seen throughout the whole process, that my challenges were valid, that other people were going through the similar things. And then on the other side, in regards to like what specifically more I was learning, again, I came in with not much of like a business background or anything like that, but I learned a lot about different business metrics, how to design a pilot program, how to get data that's quality and useful. Because I came in with a vision and a mission, and I had started some pilot programming, but it wasn't. I wasn't measuring my data very well. I was a little bit vague on how I approach things in regards to all the statistics, and, for example, my questions on different qualitative surveys. And so it gave me sort of the tools I needed to go ahead and execute my mission and my vision.
Well, we love action, so that's really that's really good to hear. And I think it's interesting to illuminate too. Both of you are educators and came in with creative ideas, but didn't necessarily have clarity around the business components or even some of the tech components. So being able to individualize like what your journey was and how you were able to get the skills and the tools that you need to move it ahead. Before I pivot back to Marcus, I kind of want to ask you guys what's next. Like, what are your next steps? Tiffany, where are you with You Teach, We Aid?
So right now I'm in the process of having the website redesigned and just rethinking services and programming, how it's actually being implemented, and really just honing in on the quality of the service that will be given. Working on contracts between potential partners and potential assistants, and that's pretty much the gist of it.
That's awesome. What about you, Vedant? What's next with Allo VR?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, LVR serves students through mindfulness building virtual reality experiences. So in that, I'm trying to use the data I've been getting from surveys of the community and trying to iterate that experience for students, making it more, improving it for students with disability, improving it for students who experience symptoms of trauma. And so what's next is building funding up to that, and also making sales, proving my market value, and all the while listening to the community and improving the experience, figuring out how it works best in schools, how it can work best in households. And also another big step that I'm venturing into right now is patenting the product itself that the Pre Accelerator helped me define.
I love that. So much forward movement. Marcus, you created this space for these creative ed entrepreneurs to come together and make their ideas a reality. As somebody who has not ventured into this space, like it's a little daunting to me because like I'm like, gosh, how did they have this idea and what were they putting together? Like, how far along do you have to be in your idea to consider applying for galaXy? Because like it's really impressive on demo day to see what everybody created, and it's almost overwhelming how cool it is. So like where can you enter?
Yeah, you know what? We're really looking for those leaders in the education community who have ideas and are really interested in taking that idea and making it a reality. So, I mean, really, if you have an idea, you're in the idea stage. I mean, we've had fellows come in as advanced as Vedant and Tiffany, but we've also had fellows who have just had an idea and come out with a product. And so, uh, again, like what we want is, in particular, we're looking at the people. We're looking at the person with the idea, not only a good idea, but also a person who is going to persevere, who is going to keep working on that idea, even in the midst of working a full-time job, managing family, managing other responsibilities, and who are going to stay on that pathway to making that idea into reality. So again, whether you just have an idea, whether you've been working on something already, or no matter the stage, we're open to working with you. But what we're really looking for is a person who is going to stick with us to the end and come out with a product that is going to change the lives of students.
I love it. And I also really appreciate that. What I appreciate about ed.Xtraordinary is that we are learners and teachers and creators. And like, I think great teachers never ask their students to do something they're not willing to do. And so Marcus,
Absolutely.
You were actually creating alongside the fellows your own product as well. And I just thought it might be great to hear just for a moment about design now, and also what did you kind of learn as a learner in the process that you were facilitating?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Janine. And I agree. You cannot ask people that you are leading to do something that you're not willing to do. And so that is one of the reasons why our team also works on something simultaneously to also go through that experience as well. And so, Design Now is a self-directed platform for teachers and students. And so, the design thinking process is something that we really believe um, is fundamental for everyone in understanding the future of learning. But before students start using design thinking and before teachers start using design thinking, everybody has to understand what design thinking is. And so Design Now is that platform that allows teachers and students to start using design thinking and doing design thinking activities immediately in the classroom. And so it's a toolkit where you have self-directed videos, where you have self-directed worksheets, and self-directed materials and things like that. And it allows teachers to immediately start using in their classroom. So they don't need prior experience in design thinking. They just facilitate the process inside the classroom with students. And so our goal is for every student in the Clark County School District and beyond to understand design thinking and have that skill as they venture into the future of learning and the future of work. And so we believe everybody needs to understand design thinking. And so Design Now is that toolkit that will allow everyone to understand the design thinking process, both teachers and students.
And it's great because we're talking about these amazing innovations that you all created. And the culminating experience of galaXy is a demo day where we have fellow educators, young people, community leaders, friends in tech, school leaders, and investors come together and actually experience your products in action through demonstration and an opportunity to ask questions, provide feedback, and network. And I think that who doesn't love a public display of learning? It makes it real, it makes it fun, it makes it tangible. It was so fun, and I can't wait for the next one. We've heard some great things from all of you today. I would love to close by just asking each of you who care deeply about education and are working on projects and creations that are close to your heart. What is your vision or your wish for the future of learning in Las Vegas?
Sure. So my wish for the future of learning in Las Vegas is for mental health supports to amplify academic success.
Love it. Tiffany, what about you?
I guess I see a future. I see a future where our students are in community with, are building relationship with, are learning from the same teachers that they met in the 6th and 7th grade, and maybe the 8th and the 12th grade because of high teacher retention. So, yeah.
Thank you. What about you, Marcus?
I think the future of learning, my hope for the future of learning is that every single student, no matter where they come from, their race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender, that they have a tailored learning experience and pathway for them to be successful. I think every student is different. And every person is different, and everybody learns differently, and everybody understands the world differently. And I just really hope that the future allows every student to be able to experience the world in a way where learning is tailored toward their interests and their ability, and in the way they engage with the world. And I think that would really change. That literally give everybody an opportunity to be successful and to be productive in the next wave of the 21st century.
Thanks, Marcus. I think that galaXy exists as a place to help cultivate those knowledge, mindsets, and skills around innovation to bring your collective visions to life. And it's been really exciting talking with all of you about that today. So thank you. We appreciate your creativity and action. We're excited to support your next steps. And let's just keep building this future of learning together right now. To our viewers, thank you for engaging. We look forward to your applications and all of the information that you'll be looking for, including how to find out more about these awesome innovations will be included with this video link. So have a great day. Thanks.